So come on in, take a sip, let's wind down. We have ourselves a hump day grid to hop into today. And I got myself a 2022 2022. This is a Laminero Tempranillo. And I just picked it up down at the little wine store, the little bodega downstairs, Delicado. And on the nose, it's just this fantastic Spanish sun coming through on these red berries. It really is quite lovely. This is a sweeter Tempranillo. Not typically the avenue I would go down when it comes to having a wine. However, not a bad one. This would be a fantastic dessert wine. No tannins to speak of. It's soft, it's well finishing, but it is definitely a sweeter variety than I would typically open. But nevertheless, this bottle is not going, it's not going to go on. I'm going to finish this bottle within a couple of days. It'll just become my dessert and also the fruit of my labors here today while we're solving. The quality is noted. This is a fantastic wine, very well made. Like I said, well finishing, super dark on the light frame behind it. This would be fantastic. So if you like a sweet wine, then the Laminero, well, for sure, the Tempranillo 2022 would probably be right up your alley. So let's go ahead and I've been told I need to expand my palate a bit. So branching out. Let's hop into our grid and see what we've got today. What a wonderful response from so many of you yesterday. So many that I normally see responding just on maybe the New York Times. We're hanging out over and checking out the Guardian Cryptic. Too bad I took a pretty good yank slap on that one. It was not a good day for the yank. I had never heard of the Pontefract cakes before. But seeing as how they were made out of licorice, I probably wasn't missing out on anything, so it's okay. I will try one next time I am in the United Kingdom, which will be pretty soon, as a matter of fact. I gotta get up and see my friend Musty and do a pub crawl. But today for our hump day, May 28th, we have a construction by Peter A. Collins, edited by Mr. Will Shorts. So let's hop into it, see what we got for our Wednesday here. Okay, mouse is working, keyboard's up, everything's good. I sometimes forget to charge these Bluetooth keyboards and mice, and then I wind up like, oops, So genre for Count Basie or Charlie Parker. I don't think I can fit scat into that clue. So maybe we're just looking for a plain old jazz. Sharp-dressed man band. It's always so funny to me when I see ZZ Top in a band or in a crossword. I don't know what that's all about, but it just seems like, they don't belong there, do they? I guess they do. Of course they do. Historically, one of the most significant rock bands of the 1980s and 70s and 80s. Maybe into the 90s, I don't remember. But starting place, how about point A? We can always just say, hey, why not? Let's go with point A. 2 tablets as an example. I'd be fairly certain this was a dose, but I don't know. First words of the day perhaps could be good morning. One of the things that I still find so interesting after so many years of doing crosswords, you no longer have to count the squares. You just look at something and you know if it fits or not. On rare occasion, I am reminded that I don't always have the talent, but 99.9996% of the time I do. So rice-a-roni, that San Francisco treat. So what do we got up here? Proclivity could be a bent. I have certain bents. Small for sale would be a jib. Rare blood type and brief. It's so strange to see that I'm an A negative, right? And I'm like, is it really that rare? But I guess it is. Man, I don't know. Name akin to Agnes would be Inez, and philosopher known for paradoxes, absolutely. Zeno making an appearance today. Oh, so stoically so. Look stunned. say. Looked stunned, say. This is a G. Keep after could be to nag. And again, confirmation bias on my end because I want it to be a G because I like the idea of gaped. I don't know if it's right, but that's what I liked. Out of the arms of Morpheus, so to speak, then we must be awake. And I tell you what, I was yanked rather violently this morning from the arms of Morpheus. Let me just put it that way. That alarm came on at 5 a.m. and I was like, I've got clinics to visit. I got people to talk to. I can't say I'll be an hour late. No, I had to go in. It was awful. Maritime could be naval. So puff on an e-cig could be to vape. Understanding Ken, more than likely. Kind of rock. Perhaps we're looking for arena rock. And you know those big headphones bands that people listened to in the 70s, like they said on Family Guy when they were wearing their jeans, their jean shirt, their jean jacket. Cognizant could be aware. Spearheaded lead. Love it. Love it. Pixar character who has trouble saying anemone. Okay, so maybe Nemo? I don't know. I know nothing about anything like this at all. Pixar characters I think I know are the Mandalorian, right? This is the way, that thing. And by the way, when is that coming back out? And I heard that there's another season coming out soon of the Lord Julian Fellows. What was the one about the robber barons in New York with the Astors and all the old money? I can't remember. It was a really good show. It's coming back out again. Question while pointing could be here, maybe. Let's check it. Really? Decrease, question mark. The question mark gives it away. I think we're talking about ironing. That is awesomeness. Okay, we've got a pretty jazzy little Wednesday grid here on us. This is good stuff. Terse admonition. How about don't hold up, maybe hid. And that's my cue. I'm on. That's my line. How about a special agent and agent provocateur? Last words of the day, perhaps. Well, something to do with the night, maybe. What do we got here? Sholem Ash, author of Children of Abraham. So if I can remember how to spell that. I actually have a first edition of that book, and it was signed, and I got it at an estate sale in the mid-90s. $2 maybe. Still haven't read it, but I have it. I've got a million books. My house is essentially a library, right? Last words of the day. So maybe we got a nighty-night. I don't know. I just think we should just throw caution to the wind, put it in there, and we'll find out if we got to change it or not. Part of Caesar's boast. Well, we got Veni, Vidi, and Vici. So we can at least have a V and an I. We don't know from the rest of this. Off-roader in brief, probably an ATV. Certain November 11th honoree. Well, I'm one of these guys too, an Army vet. Ways suggestion. So perhaps we're talking about a route. I never know how to say that. Route? I think they're both acceptable, but I've never made a decision. I think they both come out of me. Hospital diagnostic. Who knows? Let's see. Like many, a Swiftie. Could be teen age. So I think we got an EEG here, electroencephalogram, and something to get the ball rolling. FDR program. Daddy got a job with the TVA. We bought a washing machine and then a Chevrolet. But you don't know who did that song. Something to get the ball rolling. How about a putter? Okay, well, 100 people survey, top 5 answers on the board, pad, putter. I could just hear it, but no. Astuteness could be acumen, and we got Veni here. So then we've gone on a buying binge or a spree, which is so fun when you get to do those. European Alliance. So if I had to guess off the top of my head, I'm just going to say G6. And then that X should be easy to check. So crossed off. So probably X'd out. In the New York Times, you know it's not going to be X'd off because off is in the clue. Unless they're doing something funky to just mess with people's heads or something, which is always the case. Concorde, as an example for short, would be a supersonic transport. Funny how we had one in the 60s through the early 2000s, and then we just didn't. And then we didn't have any more. They're making new ones. They're building all kinds of them. Boom, hypersonic, some really cool stuff coming out. But I'm just surprised that we don't have supersonic, hypersonic, any kind of sonic passenger jets. You know, it's just crazy to me. Actresses done, and Ryan, and I think we probably got ourselves some Irenes here. Let's see, it means little in Paris, and that would be un peu. Un peu. When I like to go to the big bazaars in Paris, and I find all kinds of cool stuff there, right? And I was just, but every time, somebody could be asking like 20 euros for something that is worth a couple hundred, and you're just like, un peu, mon cher, un peu. Mon cher, Okay. Gals, okay, 15's good, right? Just get the deal, it's good stuff. One card left could be uno. Some gym reps, perhaps sit-ups. Could do those by your bed. We want to go to the gym, do sit-ups. Maybe it's nicer on the mats. One attending orientation, so maybe perhaps we have a new hire. Does some electrical work on, could be wires. Left off, perhaps omitted. Mani-pedi material, how about emery board? I swear. What? No lie, maybe? No fooling. Musical featuring the song depicted by this puzzle's circled letters familiarly. Okay, well I don't know. Let's see. Looks like we got sunset. We're probably gonna get ourselves a sunrise, sunset. So maybe fiddler. You can check it if I'm a rich man. So we got blank tear area. So maybe the Dakota. 41 Downs Top Hat Co-Star. Well, this would be Rogers and Astaire. That I know. That much I know. So, Rogers and Astaire. Ginger and Fred. Troopers on a CB radio. Oh, we got Smokies out. All right, Bandit. How about you, Bandit? Compliment. Maybe add 2. Benjamin Franklin's faith, and he was a deist, as I do believe most of the founding fathers were. It's like Jefferson. I think they were just pretty much deists, rich dudes, had land, sat around and pondered life, philosophy, started a country, Some sporty wheels informally, and I think we've got Alphas here, and I had a beautiful 1969 Alfa Romeo Spider 2000 Iniezione when I was an undergraduate, and oh wow, we loved that car, but it was in the shop weekly. It had these dual Weber carburetors, and you had to have a stethoscope and little screwdrivers. It was... Anthem that ends, we stand on guard for the Canada. Oh, Canada. So, international airport serving Tokyo, I think that's Narita, I think. Not sure. Sounded like a brook, maybe gurgled. Related to vision, could be ocular. So we have Mallorcan Mrs. would be Senora. And Backstabber, oh, you dirty rat, you. And yeah, I do believe we got a New Haven Collegian, so a Yale attendee. So we've got an Ely and Narita did wind up on that. So I think we do have our dose up here. More sound could be Saner. Narius Soul. Big name in the freezer aisle. See, and again, we had this again yesterday. By the way, I finished another construction. I'm pretty proud of it. But I gotta get to cluing it. And that's the real job. You'd think the hardest part would be finding a way to make all these letters to just like work. And it's no fun. But the cluing, that's the job, right? You know? I think I got 78 words in this one, and it's looking like it's probably going to be like a Friday, maybe a Saturday, I don't know. Turned aside. Maybe averted. But I'm going to need someone to solve that if it gets published in the Times. Somebody said, I can't solve my own grid that day, if and when that is. Just saying, putting it out there. If you're up for the task, I do need guest solvers. Please. Legal org, how about the American Bar Association? Cause of low vitality could definitely be anemia. Symbol on the back of a dollar bill, the eye, the all-powerful eye. And New Jersey City with the bridge to Staten Island, been on it a million times, the best pies over there. And this would be Bayonne. And we got a nav system for GPS. And I hope I didn't fat finger anything, but how do we do, Bob? Well, good. This was a really fun grid. It was great. So, yeah, we did wind up with a sunrise peeking up and then a sunset. That is so very Fiddler, right? I'm liking that an awful lot. I love how we got Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire in there. I love the French and the l'Empire. And of course, Zeno making it in. It's not exactly a usual thing, but ZZ Top, that was just classic. The whole grid today was just amazingly well done. So, again, Peter A. Collins, bravo. This was a magnificent construction. If only I could put one together like this, but we'll see one of these days. In the meantime, fantastic grid. I'm so glad that everyone was here. My name is Christopher. I'm delighted you were here to solve this grid with me. Let's go ahead and bring down our Bannier d'Adieu, and we'll call this to a short. So, the Laminero Tempranillo. This is the 2022. It is a vibrant, complex, sweeter wine. It is so pleasant on the nose. It's just amazing, actually. And yes, I'm trying to expand my palate to a degree. It feels a lot like, I don't know, eating sugar in a way. But what a fabulous wine. And until we see you tomorrow, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there. Be nice to strangers. And if you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing. I would appreciate it very much. Cheers. Be well.